It's now the top of the hour, and you're watching East Tennessee Weather, powered by Rusty Wallace Automotive Group.
Hey, good morning. 7 o'clock right now, getting us started on this good old Tuesday morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Excuse me. I got the still frog in my throat a little bit from the allergies that are flying around East Tennessee. Now, I know a lot of you want to know what's going to happen throughout the day today. How's this all going to play out? This is our first severe weather event really of the season. It's been a little bit on the delayed side, but yes, severe weather is on the way for the rest of the day today. Now, we're talking anytime after about 3 or 4 o'clock here this afternoon that we'll be tracking those showers and thunderstorms. And again, all severe weather possibilities are on the table as we speak. So, excuse me. So we'll be highlighting that in a lot more detail coming up here in just a moment. I'm just sending out a push alert to anybody that has the app to tune in and check in on the latest information as we broadcast this here this morning. So happy Tuesday, everybody. It is a very warm and unusually warm start to the day, and that's really going to be the story. It's going to be warm and windy throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. So let's go ahead and get to work with the forecast here for the day today. Again, this is what's going on out there right now. We have tornado watches in the state of Kentucky, and also down into southern Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Missouri. So this is the storm system that's going to be swinging its way into our area throughout the rest of the day today. Out ahead of it, that brings us the warm and windy conditions. But again, if you have any sort of travel plans up 75 or back into Middle Tennessee or staying here at home, have a way to receive weather information before the day is over. Make sure you turn on those push notifications, of course, with the East Tennessee Weather app, and we'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment. As well. Live look outside in downtown Gatlinburg. It is 63 degrees. We are currently rain-free around East Tennessee, and that's really going to be through the day today. So with that said, let's go ahead and highlight what we're talking about here for the day today as we continue to see some nice, quiet, but overcast and warm and breezy conditions. Winds are out of right now pushing about 28 miles per hour. So we have some strong gusty winds already here this morning, and that's going to be fuel to the fire throughout the day today. So here are your weather headlines. All severe weather is possible throughout the day today into the evening hours. Again, the best timing anytime after 3 to 4 o'clock, start to stay weather alert. Probably closer to 5, 6, or 7, 8 o'clock here tonight is when the main line is going to really start to work its way on through. Behind the cold front, much colder air is on the way. The rest of the week, cooler temperatures, spotty rain chances, so a little unsettled all the way through Friday. But the weekend should be playing out just fine. As you step outside this morning, temperatures are trending a few degrees warmer, anywhere from 3 to 5, 7 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday morning. We're currently in the upper 60s to low 70s. Our average highs for this time of year are in the mid 60s, so we're already above our average highs for the day today, and it's only 7:03 in the morning. All right, so the Storm Prediction Center, there are 5 risks for severe weather issued by the Storm Prediction Center. You can see on the top right-hand side of the screen, the legend. The green area is a level 1, all the way to the purple area, which is the level 5. Level 5 being the worst. Well, we are in a level 3, so we're right in the middle. And so damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out before the day is over. When you look at our tornado risk, the greatest threat for tornadoes is going to be across the Western Valley and the Cumberland Plateau. That's where we have the best dynamics for isolated tornadoes. So keep that in mind if you're joining us from the Western Valley. Places like La Follette, Oak Ridge, Rockwood, Crossville, Dayton, Dunlap, Soddy Daisy, Chattanooga, Whitwell. All those places are under a risk for some isolated tornadoes. Now, when we're talking about severe hail larger than the size of a quarter, 1 inch in diameter, that signifies a severe thunderstorm warning. We are all under that risk, basically, and 30% probability, so that's pretty high. That's an elevated probability for severe hail. That wind damage is also there. We're talking winds possibly upwards of 70, 80 miles per hour that could come out of some of these storms. So when you look at your storm threats, the wind damage is on the high category, up to 78 to 80 mile per hour winds. We do have a low potential for tornadoes, but it's not a non-existent potential, okay? So keep that in mind. Isolated tornadoes are possible, especially across the Western Valley and the Cumberland Plateau. Damaging hail, we've got that in the medium category because we could see some large hail at us out of some of these storms later on this evening. And then with any of these storms, we've got a lot of moisture to work with. It's not moisture starved by any stretch. So isolated to localized flooding and or flash flooding is also a possibility as well. So if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, this is a great tool. It sends you push notifications. You'll get lightning alerts when storms are approaching within 15 miles. That gives you an idea. That already, in general, gives you a heads up. Oh, wait, there are storms already approaching the area because lightning's within 15 miles. So you'll get that notification. You'll get notifications from the National Weather Service with any watches or warnings issued by them. Tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, if you're in that GPS. So make sure you turn on your notifications there. If and when, likely when, I go live for severe weather coverage later on today and through the evening hours, I will also send out a push alert notification. So if you got that push notification this morning, I will do that again, letting you know that I am on with live severe weather coverage, so you know exactly how to come to check it out. Now, that will all send you back to the app as well, and I will tie in links to that. So you just push on the link. It will take you right to the 24-hour weather channel where I will be broadcasting live for severe weather coverage. But again, make sure you have those notifications turned on. I know so many people turn them off because notifications can be a nuisance, right? But this is the time of the year, or this is the time of the day, anyways, to turn on those notifications on your cell phone so you get all those weather alerts through the cell phone itself. All right, so let's go ahead and time this out for you. Now, this has been pushed back a couple of hours, so the timing of it's been pushed back a little bit, so I think the kids will be fine as they head home from school. Not much activity from now through lunchtime. It's going to be warm. It's going to be windy. Wind's going to be hanging out and increasing as we get into the afternoon. So it's going to be really windy when the kids head home from school. Now, I don't anticipate a lot of storms as we get into the 3 o'clock hour. So I do think that the kids will be likely okay to come home from school off the buses. But if you have latchkey kids home by themselves before you get home from work, make sure that they know. If they have cell phones, download the East Tennessee Weather app and turn on the notifications for them so they can be aware of the situation. A lot of them will get at home, watch TV, get on their gaming devices, and forget about the rest of the world around them, right? So make sure you do that for your kids as well. Also, keep in mind as we get into, if you have kids that come home from maybe after school programs between 4 and 5 o'clock, that's really when the severe weather is going to start to ramp up. This is 5 p.m. this evening. And so you can see how we are going to have these storms starting to fire up right around 5 o'clock, so the evening rush hour time frame. Now let's go from 5 to 7 o'clock. That line is going to swing its way on into the area. Now, one thing that we'll need to watch closely for are what we call discrete cells, okay? Those are going to be supercell thunderstorms out ahead of the main line. When they are by themselves, they can hold on to the energy around the atmosphere and they can pack a punch. So we'll have to watch out for that way ahead of the main line. But it does look like this will turn into a line of severe weather, likely to have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings before the day is over. Hopefully it just sticks with that, but damaging winds again being the main threat. That's going to go from 7 to 9 o'clock. So we're talking evening commute, dinner time, getting into our bedtime hours. We're going to start to see and continue to track in this line of severe weather. From 9 to midnight, it's going to start to work its way towards the mountain locations. And we will start to lose that energy as we get into the 9, 10, 11, and 12 o'clock hour tonight. Okay, so then it's going to turn into a very heavy rain event as we get in closer to 10 to midnight tonight. And then midnight and overnight tonight, we'll start to see everything kind of quiet down. It's going to be a quiet start to our Wednesday. But through the day on Wednesday, we'll see some spotty showers. No severe weather threat, but we'll see spotty showers swing their way on through on the backside of this low-pressure system. Not to mention falling temperatures. We'll need the jackets for sure over the next several days. Now, rainfall amounts. As I said, localized isolated flash flooding is a possibility due to the abundance of moisture in the atmosphere. We could pick up by the end of the day today into tomorrow morning anywhere from 1 to 2, maybe pockets of 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. That's going to be insult to injury. So for sure, all severe weather probabilities are on the table. So here's how the forecast plays out temperature-wise. We start off in the mid to upper 60s. It's a warm start. We're going to be in the low 70s by lunchtime, and then those forecast highs are going to climb into the upper 70s to low 80s. So it's going to be another warm and unstable day. That adds to the fuel to the fire. So warm and unstable air, a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture in place. The winds are going to be with us all day long out of the south and southwest, gusting to about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So it is going to be a windy day. And you're going to feel that change in the atmosphere, right? You're going to know that there are changes coming our way. Forecast highs basically in the mid to upper 70s. And as we get into the evening hours, so we're going to stay on the warm side, but we are going to be dealing with those storms for the evening commute, dinner, and bedtime here tonight. All right, so here's your future cast for our Wednesday. Actually, let's go to the chat here for a second and see if you have any questions. Then we'll go to the big picture for anybody that may be traveling around our region. So let's see what everyone's saying here this morning. Do you have any questions about this event? I know I can't talk about every single county possible. Just know that all of East Tennessee is under that risk. And so we all have the risk for isolated tornadoes, large hail, damaging wind, and localized flooding and flash flooding. So here we go, folks. Spring is here, and spring is springing today. That's for sure. So Jorge just received the notification that I was on. The app is working. Thanks, Jorge, for that. Appreciate that. Nobody likes good weather, Barbara. No, I mean, nobody likes bad weather, I should say. It is going to be a crazy afternoon. Any Witcher's weather watchers on here, I'll be contacting you here later on this morning through text message. I do have your cell phone number, so if you are available, let me know, and hopefully we can bring you onto the show later on today. Let's see. It's rocking and rolling in Lenoir City this morning. It's rocking and rolling pretty much everywhere. Let's see. Good morning, Wanda. Wanda's joining us this morning. Everyone just be careful. That's what everyone's saying. Just be careful of the storms. Make sure you stay on the alert as we get past about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll need to cover the plants as we get into the next several days. A hard freeze and frost is looking likely. Sandra put the app on her son's Roku. Sandra, that is a smart move right there. Cody, thank you very much. I'll be contacting you, but have a good day at work, bud. Cody's part of the Witcher's Weather Watchers, and so he's going to be available anytime after about 8:30 tonight. Tom's going to be taking down the flags about noon for the high winds. Trisha says, just back on the back porch. It's too calm right now. Kind of an eerie, warm feeling to the morning. Cindy's a little nervous from the storms. Just stay weather alert, Cindy, and I'll keep you posted throughout the day today. All right, so let's go to the big picture and show you what's going on with the graphics on the big picture pattern, because we talked about your 3-day let's talk about your 3-day forecast, because you'll see. Actually, let's come back to tomorrow for a second, because remember, I told you that we're going to have some spotty showers on the backside of the system. We got some, they're called instability showers. Not going to produce any severe weather by any means, but we have enough instability and low-level moisture and this energy swinging its way through on the low-pressure system that we are going to see some spotty showers throughout the day tomorrow. Can't rule out maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, but again, no severe weather threat tomorrow. That all takes place throughout the day today. So some spotty showers tomorrow. So look at these temperatures, though. We go from near 80 degrees today, warm and windy, severe weather, dropping down into the upper 50s on Wednesday, upper 40s on Thursday. And then we're back into the low 50s on into our Friday with some quieter weather into the weekend. Now, if you have travel plans around the region, the bullseye, the triple point, so the low pressure warm front and the cold front, all is called the triple point up into Kentucky and Ohio. That's where the greatest risk for tornadoes will be throughout the day today. That's where the strongest risk is. But again, if you have travel plans over into Middle Tennessee, down in northern Alabama, Mississippi, northern Georgia, and all around our region, we all have that threat for severe storms. Here's the cold front here at this hour. It's off to our west. It's going to really start to drive that energy as we head through the day today. So by 4 o'clock today, it's going to be pushing out of Nashville. Okay, so probably between noon and 3, it's going to be working its way into Middle Tennessee, the Nashville community. Then it works its way across the Cumberland Plateau as we get from 4, 5, and 6 o'clock tonight. And then 6, 7, 8 to 10, it's going to swing its way into the valley and push its way to the south and southeast. That cold air swings in back behind it. Big old ball of colder air is going to be swinging its way in on the backside of that system, and that's when it's going to drop our temperatures. And also, say it ain't snow, my friends, but also a chance for some mountain snow showers, maybe even a few flurries on the Cumberland Plateau. No travel troubles by any stretch, but that's a sign of the changing weather pattern with the severe weather ahead of the colder air that's going to blast its way on through. And that cold air sticks with us all the way through the weekend, well, into the Friday, I should say, warming nicely back to those seasonal averages as we get into the weekend. And then next Monday, we actually have another chance for some scattered showers and maybe a few thunderstorms as temperatures come back into the 70s. Hard freeze and or frost is looking likely as we get into our Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. So we have about 3 days this week over the next 7 days of seeing the possibility of some frost around the area. So if you do have any travel plans, we do have the showers and thunderstorms. We have a tornado watch already in place across parts of western, central, and northern Kentucky. From Louisville to Lexington, we've got severe storms already firing up with some tornado warnings, and already have a report of a tornado on the ground over near Evansville, Indiana, just into southern Indiana. And so we do have severe weather already taking place here this morning. So if you travel northbound on 75, stay weather alert. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. It goes wherever you go, so you'll be notified of the severe weather wherever you may be traveling to. And, of course, if you're traveling across the state of Tennessee or staying here locally, have a way to receive that weather information throughout the day today. So we don't have any major questions on here this morning. That's good news, but we have a lot of folks joining us. Hopefully you got the information that you need. Again, let me walk you through the East Tennessee Weather app for a second. For those of you that don't have the app right now, when you open it up, it's going to open you up to this main screen, okay, where you get the temperatures. Where we are broadcasting live right now and where I will be broadcasting live during the severe weather this evening is right there at the very top, the 24-hour live weather channel. If you click on that, that is exactly where we currently are. And so you can see exactly what we're doing right now. This is where severe weather coverage will be taking shape throughout the evening hours. But I will send you that push notification, and it will take you right there. If you want to track the storms, just click on the interactive radar. There's a lot of great tools that are available with this app, but one of the greatest tools is you need to have it on the 24-hour if you want the future cast. Okay, if you want the future cast, you got to put it on the 24-hour radar. You got to put it on the national radar. My apologies. But if you want to see the local radar, East Tennessee up in Morristown, you can click on that one. It's just not going to give you a future cast. So make sure you click that on. Also, if you put it on your overlays, make sure you have lightning checked and alerts checked, because that will put on all severe weather alerts or all alerts that are in place around East Tennessee. So if we do get a tornado watch, that will be placed on the screen as well with all the weather information. So when you pan out, you can see how these storms are playing out. You can see the tornado watch up to our north. You click on it. It gives you the information. You click on that. There's your tornado watch. There's all the information from the National Weather Service. So it's a wealth of weather information right there from the app. But you don't just have to have the app as well. If you're at work and you're working on a computer, just open the desktop, easttnweather.com. We've got the interactive radar there, right there on the screen. No alerts showing up with our current conditions. And, of course, the 24-hour live weather channel will be playing right there at the bottom of the screen, right there. So you can see exactly where we are currently talking about the app itself. And so that's exactly where you need to be if you're at work to check in on the forecast for the day ahead of us here today. All right, so I don't think I have any questions out there at this hour. Let's go back to the chat. It's windy in Granger County, says Katrina. Let's see. Is there a chance these storms could calm down at all before they get here? Yes, there's always a chance that they could calm down. And I think that they will begin to relax as they push from west to east. The Cumberland Plateau will be seeing the greatest risk for severe storms as it works its way eastward. Hamlin County, Upper East Tennessee, Tri-Cities area, it should begin to weaken quite a bit. And timing has everything to do with that. You got to realize as this pushes back a little bit later in timing, if this holds true through the day today, we start to lose the sun energy. We start to lose the energy in the atmosphere. But you know, the National Weather Service was talking about it in their forecast discussion this morning, saying, hey, listen, all probabilities are on the table. Even as we lose the daytime heating into the evening hours, we have so much energy in the atmosphere to work with that still likely damaging winds will be likely through the entire event itself. So just prepare for that. I do think that severe weather is going to be probable across all of East Tennessee. I believe this is going to be dogwood winter, Brian. Jamie just downloaded the app. Thank you, Jamie. If you like what you see, pass it along to your friends and coworkers, and you'll get those push notifications. So I appreciate that for sure. Just hopping on, what time are we expecting weather to get bad? Let's go ahead and walk you through the forecast once again so we can keep everybody who may be just now tuning in on top of the weather situation. So we'll re-rack from the top here. So give me a second to get my maps back up and running. All right, here we go, my friends. So the Storm Prediction Center has put us under a level 3 risk for severe storms. There are only 5 levels of risk, 5 being the worst. We have a level 4 into Kentucky and Ohio. So level 3 risk for severe thunderstorms. When you break that down, there are different aspects of the severe weather, right? So we're talking damaging wind, large hail, and whatnot. So tornadoes are also a possibility. The Western Valley and the Cumberland Plateau back in the middle Tennessee and into Kentucky have the greatest probabilities, have the greatest dynamics for seeing isolated tornadoes. So that can't be ruled out. Okay. But hail is going to be affecting most of East Tennessee and also damaging wind. So the wind outlook. So we have damaging winds, large hail are going to be the main threat. But again, locally heavy rainfall that could lead to some localized flash flooding is also on the table as well. So high wind is the best probabilities of any of the severe events or any of the severe possibilities throughout the day today. We are talking about the possibility of 70 to 80 mile per hour winds coming out of some of these storms. So again, remember, let's not concentrate on the tornado threat itself. Let's concentrate on the wind damage threat. Just a severe weather threat that could bring in some damaging winds. Now, while the probabilities for tornadoes are on the lower end, thanks to the low pressure being a little bit further to our north, tornadoes are still possible. Okay, so isolated tornadoes are still possible. Damaging wind, or should say damaging hail. So hail larger than the size of a quarter, 1 inch in diameter, which would signify a severe thunderstorm warning. So remember, the only two aspects that signify a severe thunderstorm warning would be winds greater than 58 miles per hour or hail larger than the size of a quarter, which is 1 inch in diameter. That's the only things. Has nothing to do with flooding or anything else, okay? But with that said, isolated flooding or flash flooding is a possibility with any of these storms. And that's why I said, download the East Tennessee Weather app. That's going to be your greatest tool to get all the latest weather information right there at your fingertips, or log on to East Tennessee, easttnweather.com. So here is how it all plays out. We're calm this morning, although windy and warm. We should be just fine as we get into the lunch hour. And the kids heading home from school, because this has been pushed back a couple of hours, I think we're going to be doing fine as the kids head home from school. Do we have a chance for some spotty showers by then? Sure, we do. But anytime after 3 o'clock, you need to stay weather alert and have a way to receive that weather information, because as we get into the 5 o'clock hour, the start of the evening rush hour, here come those storms. It's going to start to line up and work its way through the area. So the Western Valley and the Plateau, basically between about 4 and 7, between, say, I'd say about 5 and 8 to 9. It's going to work its way into the valley locations, and we'll go about 7 or 8 o'clock here tonight through about midnight. It's going to be working its way into the mountains, at which point it looks like it's going to transition just to a heavy rain event. So hopefully you got that information. Let's see who just said that. I'm not quite sure who said that. I'm trying to catch up on chats. Oh, there we go. Just hopping on. That was to Sarah. So Sarah, hopefully you got the information that you needed. Just know that if you travel home from work for the heart of the evening rush hour, you'll want to check in on the app and you'll want to check in on the website before you hit the road, because you don't want to be traveling through this kind of stuff, right? It's better to be home late and wait for these storms to calm down, or leave early and get home before the storms start to fire up. Let's see. Dark clouds in Fountain City, but no severe weather threat this morning. Actually, no really even rain showing up right now. So Suzanne Rogers, thanks so much, Suzanne. She said she just added the app for Joey, one of her sons. So that's what I'm saying. So put this app on their cell phones. Make sure its notifications are turned on, and tell your kids not to turn those notifications off. That it's important to know the weather information, right? Sierra says, I hate this. I'm so sick. Don't. Sorry, Sierra. It is the season, right? Kathy says, thanks for keeping us updated. You're very welcome, Kathy. Will you go over the app again soon? I missed part of it. Yes, I will. Let's do that right now. This is for Rhonda and anybody that missed the app. So download the app, go to the Google Play Store or the App Store. You can put it on your tablets. You can put it on your computers. I actually have it on my laptop myself. And, of course, your cell phones. Google Play Store or App Store. Search East TN Weather, all one word. I will put actually in the chat itself. Let me just put this in the chat itself right now. I did put it at the top of the link if you're joining on social media, but I'll put it in the chat. So I'm going to drop this in the chat right now. There we go. I just dropped it into the chat, so you'll be able to go down there. If you have an iPhone, click on the iPhone link. If you have an Android, click on the Android link. and it will take you right to the app stores or the Google Play Store where you can download the app itself. So if you open the app, this is what you get. Where we are broadcasting live is right there at the very top of the screen with the 24-hour live weather channel. That's where we currently are. But down below, you have your interactive radar. Another great tool is if you come up here, it's at the bottom of the screen. If you come to the bottom of the screen, you see your severe weather alerts. So if you click on that, it will show you all alerts around East Tennessee, and you'll be able to find all the information from the National Weather Service. But there's another way to do it. See the 3 bars on the top left-hand side of the screen? If you click on that, weather alerts is at the very top because that's important. So if you click on that, that's going to take you to the same spot. A little tip and trick, if you're new to the app, just click on, if you go to any screen on the app, any tile on the app, just click the orange TN on the top left-hand side of the screen. That will take you back to the homepage. So that's exactly where you can follow along. If you have any photos, you can submit those through the Witcher's Pictures link. Just click on that. It will ask you to take a picture or send one from your camera roll. And then you can upload that. That comes right to my weather computer. So I would love if you post some photos there during the severe weather event, and we'll try to get those on the air as fast as you can. And your daily forecast updates. If you just want to get the quick weather updates, you don't have time to stick around for this morning for Wake Up with Witcher, you don't have time to turn on any programs to watch the latest forecast, you get all your information. Long-term, a long forecast, and a short forecast. A 1 minute with Witcher is there right now. I'm getting ready to upload the 1 minute with Witcher here in just a moment. But of course, I had to do the broadcast live first. You can also put in other locations, okay? So if you have friends and family that live around East Tennessee, live around the region, live around the country, and you want to stay on top of the weather where they live, just go to the very top. See that little tiny plus sign under where it says Knoxville, Tennessee? If you click on that, it'll take you to a screen where you can add a location. So let's add Louisville, Kentucky. There we go. We'll add Louisville, Kentucky to it. So you click on that. Yes, you want to enable all alerts for Louisville, Kentucky. So you click on that. I won't be able to do that on my computer right now because I turned off notifications so it doesn't inundate my computer. But click on all notifications and click save. That will take you back here. So what you do is you slide this bar right here where it says current forecast. You can slide that bar and the map changes below it. So you can see we're on Nashville now. If you click it again, it will take us to Chattanooga. Slide it again. There's Denver, Colorado, because that's where my family lives. Click it again or slide it again, and now it takes you up to Louisville, Kentucky. So if you click on that now, where Louisville, Kentucky is, you get all the information from Louisville, Kentucky. There it is. And then if you push play, it starts at the current radar view. It will go back 2 hours, and then it goes into a forecast of 2 hours. So this will give you a good idea, like I was saying. If you're getting ready to leave work, click on the interactive radar, see what the future cast of 2 hours is. Say, okay, I can hang out for about 30 more minutes. The strongest cell will move on through. And yeah, it's going to be raining on the backside of the stronger storms, but at least I'm not going to be driving through severe weather. So that 2 hour future cast is perfect to give you all the latest information. So you can see how that over the next 2 hours, this cell is going to be sliding its way through Louisville, Kentucky over the next 2 hours. And all the yellow shaded area is the tornado watch. So hopefully you got that information from the East Tennessee Weather app, and hopefully you saw exactly what you needed to know for the day today. Let's see. Let's bring up the chat, see what everyone else is saying here. So Sierra says, it happens. We're going to church after school to be on the safe side. They have a basement. That is a very smart move. Good job, Sierra. Taking your safety and your family's safety into your own hands. And I appreciate that very much. Let's see. Anybody else saying anything? Good morning, Gunner and Hendricks. They're listening on their way to school this morning. So Katrina has the right idea. You can push CarPlay and listen. Bring up the live broadcast while you're driving. Don't be watching it while you're driving, but you can listen to it. Put it on your stereo in your car if you have CarPlay. If you have to be traveling during severe weather later on this evening while I'm broadcasting live. Yeah, Amy said it right there. So people traveling this afternoon could play the live stream via Bluetooth and listen as they commute. And that is absolutely correct. You are perfect in saying that. So thank you, Amy, for passing that along. So Shanda says, when do you expect the National Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm watch? Well, Shanda, they don't issue the watches. The Storm Prediction Center does. And then they'll tie that in and maybe add a few counties because the Storm Prediction Center, does grids. And so the National Weather Services will say, well, that's kind of skipping this grid or this county, so we'll just add that county in. But I don't know. Probably, if they were to issue one, it's probably going to be shortly before or right around noon today, I would imagine. So likely before noon if they were to issue a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch, okay? So can't rule that out as well. So we'll see what they do. And remember, you only see 10% of what I post on social media. Just keep that in mind. So don't just come to your social media feeds to find out all the information. Actually come to the East Tennessee Weather Facebook page or the Mike Witcher TV Facebook page. That's where I will be putting all of the information on throughout the day today. So I will probably inundate your feeds today, so I apologize, but I want you to know that, again, only 10% of you actually see on your feeds what I post on a daily basis. And because severe weather is coming through, you need to actually come to my Facebook pages, YouTube channel as well. But, of course, the East Tennessee Weather app is going to be the one-stop shop for sure. So Stacy's going to be going to see To Kill a Mockingbird tonight. So, Stacy, just keep your app up. Don't make sure you push silent if you're going to the play tonight. But just definitely stay weather alert. Nothing to be too concerned about. And again, I don't want you to be concentrated on tornadoes, okay? Just got to realize tornadoes are fairly they're not a common occurrence here in East Tennessee, okay? Over the last 75 years, I mean, some of the counties that have seen the most tornadoes are up to 27 tornadoes in the last 75 years. So I wouldn't concentrate on the tornado aspect of it. I would concentrate on the wind aspect of it. Damaging winds can cause a much greater aspect or area or wide area of damage, more so than tornadoes. So let's concentrate on, I don't want you to take severe thunderstorm warnings and push that under the rug. And then tornado warning, be like, severe thunderstorms can do way more damage than tornadoes can. And we get a lot more severe thunderstorm wind damage than we ever do tornado damage in and of itself. So something to keep in mind. So don't take severe thunderstorm warnings lightly, my friends. So Lee just added it to his desktop favorites on his computer. Nice. That's a good way to do it. Add it to your favorites in your toolbar from your computer, your favorite search engine. Elizabeth said, the Weather Channel just showed the tornado parameter. It looks like it fades as it gets to us. It will, but we still have a probability of tornadoes for sure. My kids live in Louisville. Prayers for everyone's safety, says Melinda. Melinda, make sure that they have the East Tennessee Weather app. Again, they can stay on top of the weather situation, so when they come home to East Tennessee, they'll know exactly what the weather is going to be like. But again, those notifications will go to the East Tennessee Weather app in Louisville, Kentucky, if they need to take shelter. So tell them to download the East Tennessee Weather app. You're not going to get any wealth of weather information. You can get your daily forecast highs from the app on your cell phone, just the general weather app on your cell phones. That's great and all on a normal benign day, but you're not going to get anything more than that. You're not going to get the forecast updates. You're not going to get the future cast. You're not going to get the interactive radar that we typically have. You're not going to get the live weather, severe weather coverage updates that you'll get through the East Tennessee Weather app. So throw those other apps away and download the East Tennessee Weather app. We do have, we have the trees are starting to bloom and blossom a lot more, so the leaves are coming out. That adds surface area to trees, and so damaging winds, knocking down some trees and causing power outages is a possibility throughout the day today. So another great tip and tool for the day today, make sure everything is charged. If you're at work, plug in your cell phone at work at your desk. Make sure everything is up and charged and ready to go so you're not losing power in case we do lose power today. Can you show the tornado parameter? Yes, I will show the tornado parameter. So again, when the Storm Prediction Center issues severe weather graphics, they issue the big graphic, right? So if you expand the view, I'm just going to expand the view for a second so you can see the big bullseye. This is that view. This is what the Storm Prediction Center issues, okay? But when you come into the actual, let's get back to it. This is our local view of East Tennessee from Chattanooga to Tri-Cities, okay, and everywhere in between. We are under a level 3 risk for severe storms. So when they break that down, they break it down into different parameters: tornadoes, hail, and wind. When you look at the tornado parameters, it's the Western Valley, the Cumberland Plateau, but again, greater potential for tornadoes into Kentucky and Middle Tennessee than it will be here in East Tennessee. That is the tornado potential from the Storm Prediction Center. All right, here we go. So let me do something for you here. I will show you this map right here. This is why I don't want you just to concentrate on tornadoes, okay? These are tornadoes that have happened in East Tennessee since 1950 to 2023. Knox County's only had 16 tornadoes. Now, don't let your guard down. Obviously, tornadoes are a serious situation. But the point of the story is I don't want you just to like brush severe thunderstorm warnings under the rug, okay? That's the whole point. Now, from Marion to Hamilton, Bradley to McMinn County, Cumberland to Fentress, we get a lot more tornadoes there. The mountains do not break up tornadoes, just an FYI. I know that's a myth around East Tennessee. Oh, the mountains will break everything up. That's not true. Look at where we have more tornadoes, from Polk County to Monroe and Blount County, even into Greene and Cott County. Jefferson County, Knox County, Claiborne, Scott County are a little bit more elevated when it comes to tornadoes. Campbell County, only one tornado over the last since 1950. Places like Carter and Sullivan, Johnson County, up near Tri-Cities, only about 3 to 4 tornadoes since 1950. So again, don't concentrate on the tornado potential. Concentrate on the severe weather potential, and always have a way to receive weather information during severe weather season. Because Tammy says, I keep telling myself not to freak out about tornadoes because they don't happen very often, but then that little voice says, well, it just takes one, and that is true. Actually, you know, we were camping this weekend at Little Arrow, which was great, and thanks for joining me on the program here this past weekend. But we have one friend of ours whose kid, they had to take shelter during the tornado off of Lovell Road, okay, in northwest Knox County. The kid is freaked out now about wind. I sat down and chatted with him. I told him, listen, I know it's breezy. I know it's windy today, but look at it, it's sunny. I'm the weatherman. Would the weatherman be outside enjoying the day if it was bad weather? If we were expecting severe weather? No. Would the clouds be darkening up? Yes. Would I be broadcasting live for severe weather coverage if we needed to? Absolutely. But the poor kid is petrified, just terrified of wind now because of the tornado event. So yeah, Tammy, I agree with you. It just takes one event for sure to make things a little bit more uneasy in the future. See, Tammy says she's responded to Tammy Collins saying, we had a tornado come through here about 40-something years ago. It was terrible. She lives in Granger County. And Granger County has only had 3 tornadoes since 1950, but Tammy's talking about one that happened about 40-ish years ago. Jessica says, everyone has to stop obsessing over tornadoes. They're so uncommon. If they do, they're also very localized. Nobody mentions straight line winds. I do. They can be just as damaging or even more because they aren't as localized with the rotation systems tornadoes produce. 100% agree with you. So, Jessica, thank you for putting that on the chat here for everyone to see. Yes, absolutely. Let me throw on the chat, so see if that will populate here. But absolutely, that's exactly the whole point I was just talking about. You cannot brush severe thunderstorm warnings under the rug. You just cannot do that because they can produce a bigger swath of damage than tornadoes because they are so localized here and localized in general, of course. But we have this thought that tornadoes, which of course tornadoes are bad, but the tornadoes that we see on TV are always across, Kansas, Oklahoma, the Great Plains, where they get these large, long-lived tornadoes to occur. We had the conversation last night. This is not going to be like 2011, okay? And April 27th of 2011. A lot of you may recall that date. This is not anything like that whatsoever. But anytime we talk about severe thunderstorms, you've got to talk about tornadoes as well, especially when you have enough energy and rotation and shear, winds changing speed and direction with height in the atmosphere. And that's exactly what we have throughout the day today. But Jessica's right. Tornadoes are very localized. Damaging wind can be a bigger swath. So thank you, Jessica. Let's see. Tammy says, and I'm in McMinn County. We have a pretty high number on there, but McMinn County has seen 25 tornadoes since 1950, so a little bit more common in McMinn and Monroe County than, say, places like Knox County. Yeah, see, Amber says, straight line winds took down several trees on top of my parents' house 3 to 4 years ago. It looked like a tornado had come through, and damaging winds can. The only way that the National Weather Service, that's why they go out and survey damage after severe weather events, because you'll get twisting motion within trees if it's a tornado, but you get trees to topple down in the same direction if it's straight line wind damage. And again, straight line wind damage is going to be the main threat later on tonight. Why does Sevier County not have as many tornadoes? Says Chris Challenger on YouTube. Well, you know, it's just based on the environment and based on how East Tennessee's kind of curved. You got to realize that when these storms come in, Chris, they come in from the west-northwest, right? So usually you have a northeast to southwest orientation. But if you look at East Tennessee, let me pull that map back on the screen for you for a second. If you look at East Tennessee, we do have, hold on, I don't want to do that. You look at East Tennessee, see that little curve? You can see where the highest peaks of the mountains are. So it does block it a little bit in Sevier County based on the orientation that these storms will come on through. And so I think that you get little eddies to spin across the base of the mountains because the air flows just like the water flows. Remember, the air is a river of moisture. You just can't see it all the time unless it condenses into clouds or the trees are blowing, right? But we get little eddies up against the mountains. So we typically don't get large tornadoes or long-lived tornadoes based on our environment here and the topography of East Tennessee. But based on where the mountains are and how East Tennessee kind of curves to a little bit further to the north and east, right around and after Monroe and Blount County, Sevier County typically does get a lot less of tornadoes. But that does have to do a lot with the environment. Anybody traveling around the region here, remember, we've got severe weather already breaking out across parts of Kentucky where we do have tornado watches, tornado warnings, and severe thunderstorm warnings associated with that storm that are getting ready to move their way into Louisville and western Kentucky right now. So anybody traveling northbound on 75, maybe not advised as of right now. If you can hold back, if you don't have a work meeting, you don't have to be there, maybe hold back. If you can travel tomorrow, you'd be better off. But make sure you have push notifications on your apps. Ashley Robinson says, good morning, Mike. As always, thank you for keeping us updated and informed. Everyone stay safe. I agree. And you're very welcome, Ashley. All right. I don't think I have any more questions here. We've got a lot of folks that have been joining us here this morning. So I'll walk through the forecast one more time and then we'll wrap things up here this morning. Remember to always tune in. Come to my Facebook pages today. Don't just rely on your Facebook feeds to give you the information, okay? You only get about 10% of what I put on social media. And I really don't inundate social media with a lot of weather information. I try not to. I post several times a day, sure, and hopefully you don't unfollow me or unlike me because of that, especially on a day like today where you need to get the information. So I will be posting a lot more information today on social media. Right now, it's warm. It's breezy. Winds are about 28 miles per hour. Temperature is now 60 degrees there in downtown Gatlinburg. Not nearly as windy in downtown Gatlinburg. In Hardin Valley in northwest Knox County, it's currently 68 degrees as well. So the forecast for the day today goes as follows in the several days. All severe weather is possible and on the table later on today and into the evening hours. Locally heavy rain, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, large hail, and a lot of lightning, okay? Behind the cold front, colder air is going to spill on in. That's going to make for some rather chilly weather Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we'll start to warm up Saturday and Sunday. But the weekend looks like it's going to be nice, quiet, and sunny. Remember, here are confirmed tornadoes since 1950. So pick out your county. Let you get an idea. You know, if your county has a little bit more tornado activity since 1950 than other counties, you may have a better chance of seeing isolated tornadoes than anybody else. Okay, so just kind of know the climatology of your county when it comes to severe weather. Know your environment. Know always to have a safe place to stay. Listen, if you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, that is not a good place to be. So make sure you have a way to get to a different location, maybe a gas station or a sturdy building, a brick building, a restaurant, somewhere that's going to be a little bit more of a sturdy building than a mobile or manufactured home. Okay. Make sure that your kids have notifications and are well aware of the situation. Temperatures right now across East Tennessee are in the 60s and 70s, so it's really warm. We have a level 3 risk for most of East Tennessee. Okay, so the Storm Prediction Center is the one who issues this. They have expanded that risk to include almost all of East Tennessee. There are only 5 categories for severe weather. When we look at our tornado risk, it's going to be across the Western Valley, the Plateau, Middle Tennessee, into Kentucky. That's going to be the greatest risk. And let me expand this view just a little bit to show you that risk for tornadoes. So you can see all the way up into Ohio, down into northern Mississippi, and central and northern Alabama. So that's where we'll have the greatest risk for tornadoes today. But hail is also a possibility. We're talking about damaging hail, hail larger than the size of a quarter or 1 inch in diameter. I remember several years ago, we used to have 3/4 of an inch of hail in diameter anyways, was damaging hail. Well, the NOAA has changed that over the years. They said, well, we weren't getting or seeing as much damage associated with 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch hail as we were with 1 inch. So they changed the criteria with that. So 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater signifies a severe thunderstorm warning, or hail larger than the size of a quarter or 1 inch in diameter or larger signifies a severe thunderstorm warning. Those are the only 2 things. And every once in a while, if the National Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning, sometimes in the small fine print, they'll say, hey, listen, severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado potential. So sometimes they'll issue a warning like they did with that the tornado off a level road. We only had a severe thunderstorm warning. We did not have a tornado warning with that, but there was a tag on that saying tornadoes were possible with that severe thunderstorm warning. So something to keep in mind. And again, you get all that information with the East Tennessee Weather app. So just go to Severe Weather Alerts, click on the alert itself, and read the discussion, read the information from the National Weather Service. And I will be putting that on TV later on today, so you'll be able to see exactly what the National Weather Service is doing and or saying. So storm threats, wind damage is going to be the greatest. Winds could be pushing about 70 to 80 miles per hour. So anything over 58 miles per hour signifies a severe thunderstorm warning, but we could see anywhere from 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts out of some of these storms. We've got a lot of dynamics in the atmosphere. Tornadoes are in the low category, but still possible. Okay. Also, damaging hail, we'll get that into the medium category. So large hail is possible, but we're not talking about like baseball size hail. We're talking about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bit larger in some locations. And the best timing is going to be anytime after 3 o'clock today, but more likely 5, 6, 7 to 10 o'clock here tonight. So I'd say from basically 5 to 10 is probably our greatest window for seeing severe weather. But let's do a cover your butt forecast, right? CYB forecast, 3 till midnight tonight. That's going to be the window for severe weather. So just to keep us posted on that. And localized flooding and flash flooding cannot be ruled out. And that's why I said if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, this is a great tool to have in your back pocket. It is free. Weather should never be paid for, my friends, okay? So if you're paying for weather apps right now, get rid of them. You don't need them anymore. I have everything that you need with the East Tennessee Weather app. We have a 24-hour weather channel. You get daily forecast weather updates, long extended forecast updates, plus short weather updates if you just want to get a quick snippet of what the forecast looks like for the day today. You have your interactive radar, which has a wealth of weather tools within the interactive radar itself. You get notifications. You'll get notifications for lightning when lightning is within 15 miles of your area. And that's a great tool because that's going to be the first sign. Oh, wait, there's lightning nearby. Let me look at the interactive radar. So when you click on that lightning link, that sends you to, it will send you back to the interactive radar and the current radar image. Okay, so make sure you have that. Let's see. We have the 24-hour live weather channel. So I broadcast the 24-hour weather channel all the time. If you have a business, put this up in your business later on today. Have it in the background so your patrons can see exactly what's going on with the weather while they're in your business, whether it be a restaurant, a waiting room, so everyone can stay on to, it's like the old Weather Channel days. Remember when the Weather Channel used to be up in like everywhere? Well, it's not anymore because the Weather Channel doesn't do weather coverage like they used to. But that's where I come into play. And so that's why I designed and developed a 24-hour weather channel. It can be on in the background while you're getting ready for work and the kids can get ready for school. It is family friendly. There's no bad news on it. It is all weather information with a few commercials here or there. Got to get paid too, right? So make sure you download the app today. Just go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and search East TN Weather. I have put it in the links on this chat and also on this broadcast itself. So just click on the Google Play Store link or the iOS link. So let's time it out for you. From now through noon, we're going to be doing just fine. It's going to be breezy, it's going to be windy, a little gusty, and it's going to be warm. As the kids head home from school, we're likely to be okay? But as we head past 3 o'clock, stay weather alert. From 3 to 5, here come the storms. So if you typically head home from work right around 5 o'clock and you're in the Central Valley, you're likely to be okay. But make sure you check on the app, check in on the website, easttnweather.com. Say, okay, let's see. Well, I can get home. But anytime after 5 o'clock, we're really going to start to see this line up and start to roll its way on into the area. And so basically between 5 and 10, that's probably our greatest window for seeing severe weather. If we were to see it, that's when the line's going to come on through. That's when we're going to transition to heavy rain as we get 10 to midnight. So do anticipate some heavy rainfall, and that's going to make for a very soggy start to our Wednesday morning. The other side of the story, we're going to see a lot of rain, so we could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, maybe pockets of 3+ inches of rainfall. So that's why I said localized flooding and flash flooding is a possibility. I know it's been dry over the last few days, but still with that much rain, and when we're talking convective rain, thunderstorm rain, it's intense, right? So we're going to see a lot of lightning with this storm system as well. So do expect the skies to be lighting up as they start to roll on through. It's going to be a warm and windy day. Temperatures topping out in the upper 70s. The wind is going to be strong, sustained, and gusting to about 20 to 30 miles per hour throughout the day today. That is going to help to boost our temperatures close to 80. So those winds are going to be out of the southwest ahead of the cold front. Westerly, northwesterly winds back behind the cold front, and that's what's going to usher in the chillier air. Through the evening hours, it's going to stay warm. We're going to be in the 60s and 70s all the way through, midnight tonight. So until the cold front really ushers in that colder air, which will start to take place throughout the day tomorrow, we're going to see that chillier air settle on in. Wednesday, by the way, no severe weather threat, but some instability showers are going to work their way on through. We got enough moisture in place and some low-level instability that we're going to pop off a few showers, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder, but a couple of quick little splash and dash showers will be rolling on through the area during the day on Wednesday. 3-day forecast, temperatures drop as we get into our Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thursday is going to be the chilliest day. We're talking lows in the 30s, highs only in the 40s and the 50s. And if you have travel plans around the region, the bullseye for severe weather is going to be across the Ohio Valley and northern Kentucky. So Cincinnati, Lexington, Louisville, Columbus, Ohio, all going to be in the bullseye for the greatest risk for severe storms and tornadoes. But further to the south, can't rule out severe thunderstorm watches or maybe even tornado watches before the day is over. Here's what it looks like on the big picture. Again, as this low tracks its way up into the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes area, that's where the triple point is. That's where the severe weather is going to be the strongest. But down along the leading edge of the cold front, that's when we're going to see our severe weather events that really take shape through the evening hours. And listen, I can go on and will be on as long as I need for all of East Tennessee. So I may send a push alert saying I'm broadcasting live. If Chattanooga is getting severe weather, I will be live for Chattanooga. If it's lingering all the way up into the Tri-Cities through midnight tonight, I will be live through midnight tonight for the Tri-Cities area. So come in, check in. I will call counties off when you are able to go to bed. I'll say, hey, listen, you're good. You're in the clear. Yes, heavy rains. Yes, it's still lighting up around the area, but the severe weather threat has shifted east. You're more than welcome to go to bed. So I will be holding your hand, walking you through the forecast so you can ask questions because I can have the chat up on the screen while I broadcast to see what questions that you have during the severe weather. So you're going to be in charge of the coverage later on today. You ask the questions, you talk about it, and hopefully I think we'll be able to get our Witcher's Weather Watchers on TV later on today. I've already talked to Tom, so Tom, we'll be chatting later on this morning to kind of really get that going. So if you're a Witcher Weather Watcher, I will be shooting you a text message later on today. So warm and windy today, falling temperatures through Friday, and then climbing back into the 50s, 60s, and 70s through the weekend and into the start of next week. And low temperatures will fall. Well, we're looking at frost and maybe a hard freeze as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday mornings. Those are the 3 mornings that will likely get maybe a hard freeze. All right, we're going to wrap things up. It is now 7:54. Hopefully you got all the information that you need. Thanks so much for tuning in here this morning. We had a lot of you join in. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, download it today. Search East TN Weather, all one word, from the Google Play Store or the App Store, and download it. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure everything's charged throughout the day. Today, have a way for your kids to get the push notifications, or make sure that they're aware of the weather situation if they come home from school and they are latchkey kids. They don't come, they're home alone because they're going to get on their devices, they're going to get on TVs and not pay attention to the weather around them. And also make sure that everybody knows of a safe place to be in their homes, okay? I can't stress that enough. Go through the plan with your family, especially if you have younger kids. Let them know that, hey guys, let's just walk through our house and let's talk about the safety of our house. Where is a good place to be? Are garages and attics and on the second levels good places to be? Absolutely not. Those are the worst places to be. Basements, interior rooms, closets, bathrooms, things to think about to take with you. Make sure you bring things with you. Your cell phones, unlike the old days where we used to have to tell you to turn on the TV as loud as you can while you go take shelter so you can listen to the broadcast. You can listen to the broadcast right here on your cell phone. You can actually watch the broadcast right there live on your cell phone with the East Tennessee Weather app. So make sure everybody is staying weather alert. This is our first situation. I'm not saying this is it's going to be the craziest night that we've ever seen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm not a doomsday guy. I just want you to have the information that is available to me so I can give that to you. So just know that severe weather is looking likely and probable anytime after 3 o'clock today through about 10 to midnight here tonight. So it's going to be a long range, long duration severe weather event as the storm system comes on through. I will send push notifications as needed. You'll get push notifications when the National Weather Service issues anything at all. And make sure you tune into social media. Come to my website, come to my apps, and also social media accounts to check in on how things are playing out, because I'm going to inundate your social feeds just a little bit more throughout the day today. Any other questions on here? Let's see here. I think we're doing okay here this morning. So thank you so much for tuning in to Wake Up with Witcher. I do broadcast Wake Up with Witcher every day, Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes over the weekend. But if there's any severe weather, I will always be here for you. So be safe, be kind to each other. I will tune in later on today, and I will see you back here as we track in those severe storms throughout the afternoon and evening hours. Have a blessed day, folks. Tomorrow. What does that mean? Well, we have enough mid-level instability in the atmosphere. We're going to have the cloud coverage in place, and it will probably produce some spotty showers throughout the day on Wednesday. Rainfall totals. We're talking anywhere from 1 to pockets of 2 or 3 inches. That's why I said isolated flooding and flash flooding is a possibility within any of these storms that do fire up. So here's your forecast for the day today. We're going to see those temperatures climb into the low 70s by lunchtime. Afternoon highs are going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s. The wind's going to be cranking out of the southwest out ahead of the cold front, anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. But of course, gusts can be stronger than that with any of the storms. 70s and 80s are going to be our forecast highs here for the day today. That's trending about 15 degrees above average. Stormy and warm into the evening hours. By 10 o'clock, we're down to about 69 degrees. But as we head into our Wednesday, we're going to see just some spotty afternoon showers develop. On the backside of that low pressure system, we're going to get a westerly, northwesterly flow, and you can see how that's going to pop off a few spotty showers. So some instability showers. Can't rule out maybe even a rumble or two of thunder with some of those systems, but no severe weather threat on Wednesday. That is just through the evening hours for tonight. And then that colder air swings on through with maybe a chance for some mountain snow showers. So 50s on into our Wednesday, down into the upper 40s on Thursday. Friday will rebound back into the 50s, and it looks like it's going to be a nice, pleasant weekend. We'll talk more about that with your extended 7-day forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. But if you have travel plans around the region, the bullseye from Louisville to Lexington into Columbus and Cincinnati is going to be the bullseye for severe weather and tornadoes. But that level 3 risk extends all the way down through much of the Tennessee Valley into northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. And it's also associated with this low pressure as it's moving its way out of the Rockies. Now, the center of low is going to be tracking its way a little bit further to our north. If the low is a little bit further to our south, or further south, I should say, we'd have a better chance of isolated tornadoes. But we still have that threat as this main line comes on through later on this evening and during the early overnight hours. Here's the backside of that system that's going to be wrapping its way into the area, and that's what's going to drop our temperatures as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So not only are high temperatures dropping, but low temperatures are dropping as well. And that's going to allow for some mountain snow showers Wednesday night into Thursday night, mainly across the mountains of East Tennessee. Can't rule out maybe a couple of flurries across the Cumberland Plateau, but we won't see any snow, I don't think, here in the valley locations. So looking ahead at your extended 7-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures warm today, much cooler to round out the week, and below average with a nice warming trend into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to be back in the 50s, 60s, and even 70s by next Monday. Morning low temperatures, though, it's going to be chilly as we get into our Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday with low temperatures in the 30s and the 40s. So obviously we have a powerful cold front on the way, and you'll need to stay weather alert throughout the next 24 hours. So make sure you check back in from time to time. Again, you'll have a way to receive weather information. Make sure your kids know if they're latchkey kids, they come home from school, you don't come home from work later on today. Make sure that they're well aware of the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms. But again, timing looks to be a little bit later, maybe closer to 5, 6, and 7 o'clock rather than the 3, 4, and 5 o'clock hours. So we'll keep you posted on that. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here real soon.